Hi, this is Rachelle with Scrapcraftastic, and I recently received a question asking how I add the vellum page or add the page to my altered composition notebook that I am using as a holiday planner. They were referencing this page, I think, where I added the vellum in, and then there was another one here where I added the vellum in. So I have two pieces of vellum that I need to add. So let's go ahead and add them. So this one I haven't trimmed down. This is the latest perk released to Scrapcraftastic channel members. If you would like to become a member and get access to this, the join link is in the description box below. Each month's perk is only good for 30 days. They are usually released on the 1st. So you have the 1st through the 30th or 31st to download it. And I recommend that you download it as soon as possible. And if you're not going to use it, maybe save it to your Dropbox or something like that. And I'll put all of that information in the description box below. So this one I mentioned in the previous video. And so I'm going to go ahead and add it in. This was the only place that seemed like a good spot for it. So some people use clear tape to add the vellum in. I don't have very good success with that. So I prefer to use the 1/8 inch double-sided tape. I get this on Amazon, and I will link to it in the description box below. It will be an affiliate link, which means I earn a small commission if you use my link. And I would appreciate it if you would use my link. But yes, it's not very expensive and it goes a long way, I find. And I do use it for other things. So I just add that as close to the edge as I can. Burnish that down, rub it down. Ooh, I can't believe my tab is bent like that. What happened? Oh, I know what happened. Okay. Anywho, so this is where I'm going to add it. Now, in this case, I flip it. This is how I want it. So I'm going to flip it to the other page because of the way the composition notebook is made. And I'm just going to line everything up, put it in the place position that I want it. And then I'm going to remove the backing from the tape. And I remove the whole thing. Make sure that's up against the fold line or the spine area the way that I want it. And then I'm just going to close the book. Press that down. And now it is stuck. And it's just that simple. Let's see, I want to round the corners. I've cleaned up my desk a little bit and moved some things around. But I'm going to use my good corner rounder because the Temu one doesn't like the vellum. It's got a little mark on there, but that's fine. And this is the We Are Memory Keepers corner punch. I should have probably done this before I put it in, but I can still do it once it's in there. All right, so that is it. As you can see, it's curling, and it's going to do that unless I do something to combat it because there's so much ink on this vellum that it's just prone to curl because of it being wet when I printed it. But that is how you do it. And if this page was exactly the same size as the composition notebook, I would tip it in the same way. It's a little easier when it's a little smaller because you have a little more wiggle room to play with. It doesn't have to be exactly in the right spot. So I think that turned out really nice. I like that. All right, so let's go on to December. So the December title page will be here. I'm really behind with all of that. I don't know why I can't get it through my head that I need to be preparing for these things in advance, but I don't know. It's just not me. I kind of live in the moment. Anywho, so I'm going to trim this down, and I do have two versions, one with trim marks, one without. I printed the one without the trim marks. But in this instance, I can pretty much tell where I need to cut. So I'm just trimming off the excess border. Is this going to fit? I don't think it's going to fit. Am I gonna have to get my other paper trimmer? I was hoping I would be able to get away with this, but I'm not, so I gotta put out my other one. This one is sometimes it cuts straight, sometimes it doesn't. So, and it's probably user error, but I just don't like to deal with it if I don't have to. It's like for a limited time, it does what I need it to do. And then we're back to acting up. Let's see. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing with this. Oh, I could have probably trimmed a little more off on that side, but it's okay. I'm gonna take my 1/8 inch tape, and you could use a wider tape, but I think the thinner the better, because what actually happens is it attaches to one of your pages. So the thinner it is, the more it functions kind of like an inserted page or an additional page to the notebook or journal or whatever you're using. In this case, a composition notebook. All right, let's go to December. And basically we're doing the same thing. So I'm gonna tip this in right here. I guess I could go ahead and round these corners. Let's do that first this time. Like so. Okay. Then line it up the way we want it. Take off the backing, and I'm tucking it up against the spine, up against that fold area as much as I can. And that does create bulk, but it also helps hold that page in there more securely, I think. Okay. There we go. All right. Then we just close it and press. If you have it lined up the way you want it, when you close it, it shouldn't move. I might move a little bit, because, like in my instance, because my book is getting so bulky, but not too much. And then it's just nicely laid out and pressed in to the spine area. Again, we got curling. That's because there's quite a bit of ink on this vellum. But okay, so it's all set, ready for me to do my title page for December, and then start with my weekly spreads in December. And that is it. If you have any questions on tipping in, you can do the same thing with acetate. You want to use the red line tape with the acetate, because it's stronger and it will hold the acetate better. We'll play around with some acetate in another video. You could do the same thing with just regular paper or cardstock or photo paper. Whatever you're printing on, you could do the same process to add a page. And it doesn't have to be a decorative page. It could just be maybe a dot grid page, or just an additional writing page that you want, or any type of page that you want to tip in. That is how I like to do it. Of course, there are other ways, but this is my preferred method. It's easy, simple, basic. So let me know in the comments, have you tried tipping in pages to your planner, notebook, journal, whatever the case may be? Let me know in the comments. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and you may be interested in this other video. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.